Third down and 20.
The first one is Chris Carson. Because Chris Carson, he just got that extension from the Seahawks. He is easily one of the weirdest players in fantasy football. Because if you were to look at him from a pure statistical standpoint, he hasn't even been as injured as people think, but I guess that's the one major knock against him is he's been injured. But, this dude is a super productive running back that no one will even sniff with a first-round pick. God forbid you mention first-round pick and Chris Carson in the same sentence. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys, because I've had a tough time valuing this player, a couple of questions. The first is, what is his value? If you had to pick this year, what's his value? The second is, what is his outlook? And third, if you had him, are you buying or selling him?
All right, I'll take this one, I guess. I mean, I'm a Chris Carson fan. He's won me, a few championships in the past few seasons, just not in our league, other leagues, but he's been solid. He's been a very consistent runner. And the thing about this, for Dynasty fact, is that he got his contract. And I think him re-signing in Seattle was the only place that he could have kept any significant value. Just the fact that he's familiar with the offense, his role is defined in this offense. I think Pete Carroll probably wants to get back to a more run-first offense, after how the Seahawks finished this season. So overall, I think his outlook for the next season or two, I think it was a 2-year deal he signed, is pretty good. And I think another thing is I would buy him just because, like you said, no one's even considering a first-round pick for this guy. You could probably get him for a later second-round pick. And for that price, you'll probably get a very solid running back, too, for the next 2 years.
I don't think people are going to sell Chris Carson for a later second. I think they're probably going to
I think they could, because here's one thing. Here's one thing real quick. It is a 2-year deal, but the Seahawks can get out really easily after one. I do want to give you guys.
But it's not like the money on this deal isn't that significant. Like
it's not. It's not. Yeah.
The real question is, what if you're looking to buy Chris Carson? Because I'm looking to buy Chris Carson possibly. I'm running back needing my draft strategy went over in the startup strategies video is very anti-running back, especially at the top end. If I wanted to buy Chris Carson for draft picks, what should I be looking to give up for him?
Right, only thing I have to say is, you look at what our mock that we just did, right? I said a later second. Guys that went 210 and 212 are Michael Carter and Kenneth Gainwell. Would you rather have Chris Carson over them? That's my question.
Well, first off, I don't think you should be buying Chris Carson unless you're a contender.
Definitely.
If you're not a contender, I don't think you should buy Chris Carson.
If I'm a contending team and I want Chris Carson, I've got an answer. I value him around Trey Sermon, and Lounis picked him around where I would have picked Trey Sermon.
So that means I'd be giving up around 205, 206, like a mid-second rounder. Yeah, mid to early second rounder I would give up for Chris Carson.
I'm not giving up an early second for Chris Carson.
I'm more at the 207 to 210 range.
I'm more with Jake. Yeah,
the thing is, though, if you're a Chris Carson owner, what is the minimum pick? What is the pick that it's going to take to get the deal done? Because obviously everyone wants to give up 210 for Chris Carson, but if you're a halfway decent team and you have Chris Carson, you're not you're just saying fuck that. Why am I giving up 210 for a potential RB1?
If I owned Chris Carson and someone offered me, I'll say 205 or 206, I think I accept that.
I mean, I think 204 is an auto accept. I think 205 and 206 is a fair offer, and I would probably take it as well.
That's the point I'm at. By the way, side comment. Sorry to derail from the Chris Carson conversation. We got the numbers on the James Conner deal. It's 1 year, $1.25 million.
Exactly. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I know we were talking about that earlier.
But Chris Carson was borderline RB1 last year. He missed a few games. I feel like 204 is probably a fair offer for him.
So are you buying or selling him right now? Last question, and we'll move on to the next one.
Depends what you can get him
for.
Hold.
I'd hold.
If someone offers you 207, are you accepting or declining?
For 207, I have Chris Carson. I'm getting 207.
Yeah, you're getting rid of Chris Carson for 207.
No, I'm gonna hold at that point.
I think hold, but if I could even just get up to 206, I think I'd say yes.
What if you were a rebuilding team? Even as a rebuilding team, you're holding.
No, rebuilding team. I'm selling.
I'm selling that.
Because at that pick, look who went at 206, 207. Diami Brown, Kellen Mond, Elijah Moore. Like those are guys that could be starters on your team for years to come. Chris Carson is great, but he only has what 2 years left max.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, max.
I guess one last question before I get off this, because I find him so interesting, is that if you were looking to swap Chris Carson not for a pick but for a player, is there a good player that you would look to swap him for?
Is it any player, or are we just talking running backs?
No, any player. Just any player, any sort of prospect, any player. Like, if you had Chris Carson, because maybe the move isn't to sell him for draft picks. If you're looking to sell Chris Carson, how are you going to go about it? Are you going to look for a late second, or are you going to try and swap him for a potential prospect? Because I can mention someone I was thinking about is, what about a Michael Pittman from the Colts, the kind of related to our next segment, because he's a dude that I think has some potential value, maybe a Paris Campbell, and you might be able to even get more on top of that for someone like a Paris Campbell, who I think that his perceived value is less than Michael Pittman.
I was gonna say one of the first things that came in my mind was kind of those receivers that like weren't crazy their rookie year. Like if I'm a rebuilding team especially, and I can trade Chris Carson for a chance to like Ruggs, or if somehow I can get Rager for Carson, I'm pulling that. Like I don't know if they're in for sure, but I would say generally their value is around kind of like that mid, maybe early second. So if I can get one of those two for Chris Carson, like if a contender needs a piece that'll help them win right now and can't wait on that rookie, I would do that.
If I could get the owner of Chris Carson and accept Paris Campbell straight up for Chris Carson, I'm smashing accept like so quickly. I'm out on Paris.
In terms of you giving up Paris Campbell.
Yeah, I'd give up Paris Campbell for Chris Carson so quickly. With Michael Pittman, it's more. You saying Michael Pittman makes. I feel like those two are probably around equal value. Paris Campbell, though, I'll see you later.
Well,
Paris
I was
Campbell.
saying if someone's offering, like, I think you would get a little bit more for just Paris. Like, it'd be like Paris Campbell and a third maybe this year, like an early mid third.
I'd probably
something
still
like
want
that.
Chris Carson.